Yeah, right now, onto the Rift. This is going to be the game between them. As we said, there's going to be a monumental moment in this round robin and this series that we're going to be having for today. This is going to be Saigon Buffaloes again versus GAM. This is a series that we are looking towards to during this day. But hey, this is going to be way more fun. But talk to me about this composition that GAM has put out.
Well, GAMS is much more standard, right? GAMS has a lot of individual agency. They do have a lot of CC on the top side. That's usually what GAM wants to do. They prefer those compositions where every player can find their own engagements. They don't have to rely on anyone. It's once again style on the safer, kind of secure backline carry. This time it's not the Ziggs, this time it's the AD Ziggs, if you want to call it that, the Ezreal. So a lot of agency on the other players.
Right.
Very short-range comp apart from the Ezreal, which is a little scary into the likes of Morgana and even Pantheon, as Froggy might have overstepped his welcome, and Guri here to... This is a good wait to get Guri off his usual first early clear. Zin with the flash in.
Flashing in. They have the stun. Body slam comes in. First blood comes out for the side of GAM.
Oh, it's a horror. Guri tried to play something spicy, and they instantly know where he wants to go. Everyone wants to start Raptors this nowadays, and especially Morgana with her W proccing off all the little Raptors. She loves to start with that AoE camp. They instantly punish her. That's a first blood for GAM, starting the game off on the right foot.
Honestly, that's smart. The way they started it, whenever you have a Morgana as your enemy, just take the first kill. Because the Morgana wouldn't have anything, wouldn't be able to do much. The Tormented Soul is not going to do anything on this first bout. And this is why I was afraid when I saw that they swapped the Morgana to Guri, because it's a Lee Sin. If you're fighting against a Lee Sin, you just need to farm it out, yes, but you won't really have that much of an opportunity. Yes, there's been a nerf ages ago during the patches that counter jungling is not really that good anymore, but you can still kill the champion.
Yeah, actually changing back from that nerf next patch, but now we're still on the no counter or that worse counter jungle patch, because this is 13.4.
Yeah.
And the Morgana has kind of fallen out of favor just because they nerfed her clear speed gradually over the course of the last year. It's on in MSI 2021.
Yeah, MSI, right? Yeah.
She was the main pick. And we have a little bit of a dive setup. Guri is here as well, but he was spotted on the ward, and instantly Levi is here to reinforce the bot lane to give them a little bit of a better chance to survive this dive. Well played. Nice reaction from GAM.
Yeah, isolation is going to be done here for them. If ever they're not going to be pushing towards this push right now, Levi, too aggressive. I thought that they're going to go in for another fight, but it's a good thing. It's a good measure that they're always just defending this bot lane, because this is going to be an explosive bot lane. Right now, Guri might have a problem here. Slowing it down, Tormented Soul to Dark Binding, but this early game cannot be taken over by GAM as of now, because this bot lane, this mid lane are just too strong.
And if you haven't caught up with the VCS in this year, this is now what GAM looks like. They're not the super aggressive team they used to be in 2019 and 2017, the one that all the international fans still remember. They are a very disciplined team. They play high percentage League of Legends, and they knew bot lane had push. Bot lane was a higher level. Enemy mid laner had flank positioning, so they didn't go for the risky fight into the bot river. Instead, now Levi on a better position with a stronger top laner to maybe invade the topside jungle, as he missed the last hit on the crab, which sets him down behind a bit in his clear.
Yeah,
he's one camp behind. Not too big of a deal.
Yeah, I think they're trying to fasten it up here. With Levi having the no vision on where Guri is, this is still going to be bad for SGB. The longer Morgana goes and keep farming, the timing right here is just going to be bad. This is SGB gonna be set back. As long as Guri doesn't have a lot of CS, it's not getting a lot of value, which is why it's really hard to play around this Morgana early on. So what they can do is just make use of this Pantheon, let him get to level 6, then try to go for a fight. But this top lane, still, it's not gonna be as explosive as we expected, because this is still the early game, and they're still not looking towards any kills.
Seems like both top laners are just playing the standard side of the matchup. Very defensive for Husmid, just staying under tower, staying safe, staying away from the vitals being exploitable. And Kiaya having the push, but also not overcommitting into the tower. Taki is looking for something. That's an ignite dropped on Style.
Yeah, fourth shot. Okay, Style is still alive. Still not continuing to any aggressive fights here because they still have a lot of their flashes to work with. So this is not gonna be as a lot of kills that as expected for Zin, or rather it's Shogun and Taki here in the bot lane. It's a great job right here for GAM that they're still holding on to life in the bot lane, even though this is not a favorable lane that they want to go for. And this is still also smart for GAM. They have this timer on. They just want to take off this Raptors. They don't want Guri touching this Raptors. So this is going to be setting Guri back again.
It's a masterclass in jungle control for GAM so far. Very disciplined performance, just keeping track of the movement of Guri and just not letting him accelerate past the Lee Sin. And of course, as you said before, the Morgana is supposed to farm much quicker. Even after a nerf, she's still supposed to farm, especially the AoE camps, quicker than the counterpart of the Lee Sin. Now, on the other side, Lee Sin also didn't really have an opportunity yet to gank, so while he is controlling the jungle matchup and while he's keeping track of the Morgana, both of these junglers haven't really found their early play on the enemy laners, so it's going pretty even between the teams.
Ooh.
And SGB has been able to equalize that gold lead from the first successful invade, mostly due to bot pressure, which is expected in a Varus Jhin lane, right?
Yeah, it's also going to be hard because this Varus Jhin lane, when you have this lane, when you push them back, you could just easily take on any objectives in the bottom side of the map. They can even take out the tower. A while ago, they're taking a lot of this.
Oh, the fight.
Now, with aggression coming in, they have the hold already. They want to get the kill on Pantheon, but the back line has been breached. Caddy is now low. He's going to fall down, but Levi was able to get one more low HPs, and the members of SGB. Infernal Drake has been stolen, and GAM is still looking towards the kill. Guri, flash in. Levi is looking at this man. Guri is going to fall down, and that's going to be the damage. GAM takes a 2-0, and another Infernal Drake, or rather, Infernal Drake in their side.
It's so unfortunate. Saigon Buffalo had the right idea, but the execution was a little bit lacking. The coordination between mid, jungle, and bot lane, not quite there. And it actually looked really good at the start. They had good positioning on the dragon. They had good, they had Froggy running interference on the top side. But he's only level 5. He's not strong enough. He doesn't get the kill on Carty. Good flash away. And now the fight is in a bad spot because everyone is so squishy on the Saigon Buffalo side. They can't really contest. And Levi, fully stacked Conqueror. He has all the power to chase down Guri. It goes horribly wrong, and they even lose the objective that they should never lose with this bot lane. We talked about their early priority on this bot lane. Varus and Jhin should win every early fight, and they were set up to do it, but with mid and jungle joining, now GAM in full control of the game.
As long as they won't hit their CCs, right now Shogun is still not level 6 without a Chain of Corruption. It's not going to be an easy setup like what we expect from them. So this is the punishment that GAM is doing. They're doing the early game setup just for them to not just lose after getting the level 6, the ultimates for the side of SGB. So it's really smart. This is how GAM is. This is the reason why they're 6-0. It's because they know how to play this phase of the game that we won't win. We just play around the objectives. We just play around their positioning. And right now, it's going golden for this team.
Yeah, GAM is a very good team when it comes to judging where they can fight and how they can fight, and approaching from the right side and just doing everything correctly in fights.
Yeah. Critical. They have the ults coming in. Will they have the slow?
Oh,
right now,
here comes
Pantheon on the back line was able to go down with a man drop. They are not going to be able to get the kill because Froggy has no mana. He was able to get one, though, but it's not going to be enough. They have the explosive gas. They want to look at Taki. He's now left alone by himself. The 4th shot, it's not going to be enough to get the kill, and that's GAM. Again, taking a 2-1 favorable trade for their side. And again, on top side, we got another kill.
It's all falling apart. Saigon Buffalo is trying to play GAM's tempo, trying to keep up with their fighting and skirmishing, but it's honestly just Saigon Buffalo running too far. Their precision is not good enough. Their aggression is decent, but they're just not executing on these plays well enough to keep GAM or put GAM into any trouble. GAM now 6-1 up in kills. They got the first dragon. They are scaling with the Ezreal that's now 3-0, so even the lane that was favorable to Saigon Buffalo doesn't really do that for them anymore. And here is the solo kill we missed in top lane. It's gonna be just an yeah, it's just going to be a Fiora hitting all her vitals. It's
For
nothing
sure.
to
Yeah.
be surprised about.
Ooh. Oh, he tried.
I
He
mean,
tried. Which
so
is
so what Husband tried to do there is actually get the tower aggro and then delay the next hit to have like 2 or 3
This is
tower
dead,
shots.
man.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, I think this is it, man. Yeah, Caddy. But at least they got a trade in mid lane though, and they might be able to net themselves a lot of this platings for their side. So GAM
Yep,
still
that's a
getting a
tower.
big chunk of gold together with the Rip Heralds. Again, another tower. GAM is just playing around the map. It's just playing around this openings that SGB has been giving them. And right now, they're challenging it with kills side of SGB, but it's still not enough to do anything more than just get them 300 gold, but not enough.
Yeah, I think unfortunately we have to talk about this Pantheon pick because I expected it to be jungle just because of history for Saigon Buffalo and amazing jungle Pantheon performances. It used to be permabanned against them. But it is mid lane and it has really failed to have any positive game impact. Karti's controlling the lane with the Gragas, which is to be expected. Gragas can neutralize any lane, and the Pantheon is just running around dying to everything he can find. So
Yeah.
it's not working out. Saigon Buffalo, they have to go back to the drawing board for game number 2, because this game is slipping out of their control faster than they could look.
Yeah, I mean, this is really hard though. They already picked the Gragas a while ago. I mean, Gragas could be used in any lane if you want to be aggressive. I think they were not expecting this to happen, that Caddy is going to be going for the jungle, except for the last pick. That's why they're forced to, let's just go with the Pantheon in the mid lane, because this Morgana is not going to do anything against that Gragas. So it's really hard. It's really hard for SGB to make work of this composition unless GAM makes a really big mistake. That is the only chance that they can make this work. And as we said a while ago, this is a very, very early game composition. And now they lost their chance.
Yeah, it's also showing us that GAM is just a really good reactive team nowadays as well. They used to be the ultra proactive team, the ultra fight hands check team that would just dominate early games with 5k gold leads. But now they're also good at just sitting back, playing percentage league, and if the enemy team overcommits...
Okay, great ult. And now with the Solar Flare, they have one at the backside. They got the pincer right
Hey,
here.
they got a kill.
GAM is still struggling to get the kills. Levi is now low on HP. They might be able to get his caddy. Gets one. And they're chasing that Froggy. What a great body slam to the Flash. And Guri is now going to be slowed. No black shields whatsoever. Held down to the triple kill onto Levi. And that's 4 members down on the side of SGB.
Yeah, that's an FF angle in scrims Saigon Buffalo. That was a little bit of a Hail Mary. Try something. Maybe we get a shutdown. Maybe we get a few kills if we played correctly. But even the start of the fight is so bad because everything hits. Look at that AoE damage. Party from the other side. Everyone starts with half HP when they even get the first target. And yes, they do get a nice shutdown on the Ezreal, but it's way too little, way too late. And the shutdown also goes to Froggy, which is not the target. You would really want the gold on in the perfect world. That would have been Shogun. Yeah, just look at the gold diff for these teams. It's more than 4k at 13 minutes. 2 dragons for GAM as well. They are looking unbelievably clean.
Yeah, and that's what I call, this is basically them just doing a micro check against SGB, and even the macros working in favor of GAM. So this is still not favorable. As we said, this was supposed to be a historic fight for GAM and SGB, but it's looking like GAM is the one at top, and they're at the top, the tippy top of everything.
Yeah, and yes, historically this is the most important, the most exciting matchup for the last few years, but just looking at this year and this split's performance, this is a little bit expected, because Saigon Buffalo has been struggling big time. They started really badly. They've slowly crawled their way back to a respectable scoreline at 3-3, but they haven't had GAM on the best team in the league yet. So, yeah, it's looking like a little bit of a difference in almost class, right? Because GAM is a much better team right now than Saigon Buffalo, and it shows in this first game. Saigon Buffalo tried to throw something unexpected at them. It failed horribly. I expect them to go a little bit more standard in game number 2 and maybe try to just play it out normally. But this is a worrying sign already, because if you start off game 1 in the best of 3 with this kind of team comp and you fail, what is really left for you to do in game number 2?
Yeah, game number 2 is way harder because it's match point already. You need to go for standard, and this is how you make it work. And so far, I think GAM is just going to be dominating the series if this is how it's going to go, unless SGB finds that opportunity to actually come back. I think right now they're finding that opportunity by using their vision, because they want to get any kills that they can, but this is too aggressive. I think they might be able to chase that down Solar Flare, and they were able to get one close, and that Dragon's Rage was able to get close to him. Levi falls down. I think this is a possibility for them. They have a 4v3, and this is a fight that is not going to be in favor of them, but the low HP on the Kari, double kill onto their side. They're still alive. They might be able to get this. 5 people are still alive on their side, and this is what we're saying. SGB might be able to turn this thing around, but Style was able to style the ball, and GAM was able to turn things around in a 3v5, getting 3 people back for 2.
I'm so disappointed in Style. He could have jumped in there. There were only 2 ADCs, 2 more Qs, and that would have been a penta for Style. Very close fight and good team fighting shown for Saigon Buffalo in such a horrible position in terms of gold, but also just compositionally, they should never win this fight at this point in the game. So look at how they played. Shogun and Taki once again showing up in this fight with the 2 AD carries and dealing so much damage, and also just adding a lot of CC to the enemy targets. We see Shogun executing Levi here, and then everyone is just piling into this choke point where, yes, Style can fire away at them on Ezreal, but he's not strong enough to instantly kill Hasmid. So Hasmid and Guri tank most of Style's damage at the start, which gives Taki and Shogun enough time to deal a lot of damage to the other targets. Come on, E over the wall here. Go for the...
Yeah. He needed to go for the highlight there. I hope he did, but slow here in the top side, that might be just an easy kill for them. Dragon's Rage to push him back, and Froggy is not going to be able to do anything. Not enough damage, and GAM is just going to be taking another kill after all that. But again, as we said, this is just expected for GAM at this point, having a 5k gold lead and taking some towers down. This is just a hard fight. As long as they won't be able to get this early game, SGB is just going to be walking towards their defeat against GAM. And there were some opportunities a while ago because the damage was there from Taki and Shogun, but it's not going to be enough at this point. As long as people are building through their second item, it's just a gap at this point.
It's looking a bit like 2021 spring Froggy right now. Froggy Hate is eating good tonight as he's 50 CS down and 3 levels to his lane opponent. This, so far, actually, this year has had very good laning performances most of the time, actually up in CS most games, and this is more of a little bit of a fly back in time there, 2 years where he was not able to lane and played all these super aggressive champs, trying to make plays happen. Very feast or famine. I'm not entirely sure if this is Froggy's idea. Knowing how Froggy usually plays, probably is Froggy's idea, and it's not working out for his team. But I'm a little bit confused as to why they wanted to do this into Carti when Froggy has been able to lane against all the other bit laners just fine. But it seems to be Saigon Buffalo's read into GAM is we can't play standard. We are just not good enough to contest them in standard, so just throw something unusual at them. And obviously, if it backfires horribly, so cut him some slack for the 1 and 6, because at this point, he's just the engaged bot that's gonna die every time. He's basically a Nautilus support.
Yeah, it's like a buff cannon minion with a stun. So that's basically what Froggy is going to do here at this point in the game, because he's not going to be able to do a lot of damage anymore. He's not going to be able to control the lane. But I think this is great. This is a great start still for SGB that they were able to pull something off like this. But if they're going to be going for a standard, GAM is just going to be rolling off of them. But it's still possible. Look at the backs, though. You have the Starfall. They're not going to be able to do anything with that. And that's a kill. So SGB is just losing everything at this point. And GAM is looking to just finish this mid lane turret. Just try to take it. But the Wiggler is just massive from SGB.
Yeah, that was Froggy dropping on them and dying quicker than his star was coming down. His star fall. Yeah. As Giri is now under. Here. Oh, he gets hit by the
you have it. No. Was able to get it in the end, though, but they don't have any ultimates anymore. Dragon's Rage to end it, and Levi is just going to get away with another kill.
Dash, get me out of here.
Yeah. This is just hard to see, right? Because with what we're seeing right now during this game, SGB is just having a hard time left and right. I think if we're just going to be pointing out the draft here for SGB, they tried a lot of things differently. If you tried one place differently, maybe at mid, maybe at bot, at just one of them, they even added the Morgana jungle together with it, and that's why it's so hard to do anything with this composition already.
Honestly, if you just swap Morgana and Pantheon, and you play Froggy Morgana and Bean J Pantheon, I think the composition is already much better. Because Pantheon is much better as the jungler to come to the dive in the bot lane. Morgana would be able to just go neutral or maybe even win lane against Gragas instead of just getting perma-dived on. So this iteration of the composition makes no sense to me. I didn't even look at the swap there. That's why I missed that, because it was inconceivable to me that could even happen.
Oh, look at the damage from Caddy though. That could have been enough to get the kill, but the Seed Blade was able to get one. This might be the last fight for SGB, but they might fall down. Hazmat, look at the back line. He was able to do nothing because GAM is just getting the Baron. They have the extra shots. They might be able to chase down. Won't be able to hit with a resonating strike right there. Sonic Wave. So this is GAM winning a 2-0 again.
I mean, it's only game one, maybe. Saigon Buffalo is not a team prone to tilting. They've shown us again and again that they're very good at coming back in series. So hopefully, if they step up in game number 2, we get a bit of a closer FA. And this was just all of them putting their AoE abilities together to almost one-shot the entire team. Quite fun to play this comp, I think.
It's not even all of it, but it was enough to put them to like 1/4 of their HP. That's just how ahead GAM is at this point. 3 items on the Ezreal, and that is gonna hurt because you have all the items that the Ezreal needs, and it's good to go. But right now, GAM, they can just end this whenever they want to. SGB, it's basically a go next.
And we talked about these two teams a bit before we went live, of course, just catching you up a bit with these rosters. But if you just look at the score lines for the SGB players, would you be able to tell me which of these players are struggling right now in this spring split?
Oh, wait! Okay, look at that.
Who cares about that?
But based on what I'm seeing, though, I think it's maybe Froggy or maybe even Guri that is struggling at this
all
one,
the top side is doing really badly, and then Shogun is 4-1.
Top side though, they might be able to get one here. Look at them, getting the kill on Style, a lot of damage. Might be able to get something out of this, but no, they're still not, because this is not enough. After one burst, it was just gonna fall in their faces, and that's gonna be another kill. Quadra kill onto Kiaya, and that is gonna be the end of the game. GAM is just gonna take this hour, take this game, get to the Nexus, and that's gonna be a 1-0 for the series.
Get this poor man a team, man. He's 5-2. His mid laner is 1-9.
Talkie's just gonna fall
That's a penta,
here,
no? That's a pentakill!
Yeah, there you go! There's the penta for Kiaya!
You're a pentakill!
And we talked about this a while ago, that Kiaya is not gonna be favorable with champions like this, but